Hi, I'm Ryan, and today I'm going to show you how I use emojis basically everywhere. Emojis are a great way to add a little bit of pizzazz or color, or just to give a better feeling to emails and documents and folders. And I'm going to show you how I use some of the different features of emojis in my day-to-day. First off, what are emojis? Emojis are those great little pictographs that pop up, and you can use them for all sorts of different things. These emojis can be used not just in texting though, you can use those for other things. So I'm going to show you, first of all, if I'm writing an email, and we'll just write it to myself, we can put an emoji in the subject. Now, how do we type that emoji? There are a couple of different ways. One way, if you're on Windows, holding down the Windows key and hitting period brings up the emoji picker. If you're on Macintosh, holding down Control, Command, Space brings up the emoji picture. Emoji picker. If you're in Chrome or on a Chromebook, you can right-click, and one of the options is Emojis. And this one will bring up. See, it's got the win period, so it'll bring up the native emoji picker. So if I'm on Windows, it's going to bring up this one. If I'm on a Chromebook, it's going to bring up the Chromebook emoji picker. Finally, the other way, if you have problems remembering that key sequence, there is an extension called Emoji Keyboard by JoyPixels. There's several of these. This is my favorite, and we're going to add it to Chrome. And if you've seen any of my other videos, it added to Chrome. It's right there on your Chrome. But as soon as we close this little notification, it's gone. You have to click on the puzzle piece if you want to pin it. So there it is, and I'm going to hit the little pin button. And now it's on my toolbar. And I'm just going to click and drag it over to the left so we can get to it easily. With the emoji picker, I can do a search here, and it'll give me the emojis. One key point with emojis is what you see is not necessarily what somebody else is going to see. If I click this page with curl, and as soon as I click on it, it copies it to the keyboard for me to paste it somewhere else. It looks different than what it looked like in the emoji picker. And that's just, emojis will vary depending on what platform you're on. So keep that in mind. But now I have that up there, I can say, hey, check this out. So instead of doing just an exclamation point or a couple exclamation points, we can bring up the emoji picker and bring up the red exclamation point so it stands out a little bit more. Now under the emoji pickers, I can just start typing and it will start searching for it. So I started typing sun because I wanted the sunglasses emoji. In Gmail, they also have the insert emoji, and look how different they look, because I told you it changes depending on which platform you're on. So don't expect the person to see what you're seeing. I can use it to name labels over on the left side. So you see my to-do that's over here. Now I got that big red, so it stands out a little bit more. So that's one way you can do it with Gmail, and with your emails you can add emojis during it. When you're adding an emoji to something, especially emails, do not use the emoji to replace information that you would have said in the message. It's just the cherry on top. It's to make it a little bit more exciting. It's not to replace the message, because if you think it's bad when people misconstrue what you're talking about in your email, adding emojis is just going to make it more confusing if you're using those to actually give more meaning to the email. So use those as something extra, but don't make them the point of the email, because then it's going to look like a ransom letter from some deranged person and your recipient's not going to understand what's going on. We can also use emojis to rename files. So see my boring documents folder there? Yeah, that's boring. We want to put a neat, cool little And see, sometimes, like under Windows, it's replaced with this boring one, and you can't do much about that. So that picture one is kind of, it's not colorful because it's, so you'll just play around, and you can also use my emoji picker here. But if I pick this emoji frame picture, oh, whoa. It's still going to use my native. Oh, it gave me a different one. So that one's different than what the emoji picker on Windows. It's good to know. And I like that one better. So these folders now look a little, and we can color these too. It looks a little bit nicer. We can also use it for all of our little bookmarks up here. So new doc and document. I just want to say, and it frees up some space up there. And the reason this works, because look, I replaced that meaning of the word documents with just the emoji. No one else sees this except for me, so I know what that means. I'm not going to be confused by that icon. You can also use emojis in your document titles. Let's get that out in all one word. And it's kind of cool because, so now with the hot dog up there, it just looks a little bit better when you're looking at it in Google Docs. See, that's got the little hot dog. So it's just a lot more pleasing. It offers no functionality. It doesn't make anything better on the technology side, but it's just more pleasing to look at. And we just like looking at things when they're pleasant looking. And so that's kind of fun. And that's all I have for today. Hopefully you got something out of this video. If so, be sure to like it down below and check out my website over at educate.me. Stay classy.